Gaining access. When it comes to gaining access, what we're talking about here is the attacker figuring out a path into your network infrastructure. And he's going to look at things such as getting in via your network, getting in via an operating system, or even possibly via an application. This is typically one of the most important phases of the attack in the terms of where damage can be done, because sometimes trying to gain access, the attacker can cause some damage. Sometimes doing something like a denial of service attack, it's not necessarily to deny service, it's to cause something to take place, an overload, if you will, on that particular machine so that I can then gain access. One of the most famous tools that we'll be talking about in one of the other courses here will be Metasploit, which is designed to, in most cases, overload a system to expose a vulnerability. And that would be our method of gaining access. Now, there are different factors that can actually affect the chances of an attacker getting into your getting into the target system, which would include configuration of the target system, the skills of the attacker, the architecture, as well as the initial permissions that are given to a user when access is obtained. Now, once we gain access, the goal of the attacker is to actually try to escalate our privileges of an account so that we can gain complete control of the target. Now, an example of different mechanisms and technologies we can use for gaining access would include things like, again, doing a buffer overflow, DOS, password hacking, session hijacking. I can even go through and stop a service, and stopping that service could actually open up a vulnerability. One of the things that attackers might try to do is something called spoofing, which we talked about earlier kind of with the daisy chaining concepts, and that is they'll actually try to attack a system by pretending or making that target or that system think that it's a different system or even a different user altogether. Or they might even use something like a Smurf attack, which we'll get into a little bit later on. It's not blue, it's not tiny, and there's no Papa Smurf. Just know that that's a mechanism that we can use to get in.